For example, some users may like the standard GL transaction listing report as provided by Sage ACPAC, while other users prefer to look at it differently and have additional information. To accomplish this, you can define a custom directory for each user that requires the customized report and place the report in that folder. Users that are not assigned to the custom report will receive the standard GL transactions report, while users that are assigned to the custom directory will receive the customized report. As mentioned, Sage ACPAC is a modular system. Each module is installed separately, but also each module needs to be turned on separately for each company database. This is done in the data activation window. You are always prompted and reminded to have a backup of the database before activating any module. If a module is activated, it cannot be deactivated without the SDK. The data activation window lists all applications that are installed but not yet activated for this database. When you open a new database for the first time, the system walks you through the automatic activation of administrative and common services. After that, each module needs to be activated from this window. The system prompts you for information when activating some modules, and some modules are required to be active before other modules can be activated. For example, bank and tax services are required before you can activate accounts receivable or accounts payable. If you've used the Setup Wizard utility to automatically establish your system and company databases, the Setup Wizard can also activate and set up the GL, bank and tax services, and the AR and AP modules. The Setup Wizard can be found at the Start list in the Sage ACPAC program group. Administrative services includes data maintenance tools to help with troubleshooting issues and maintaining the database tables. First, there is the data integrity check. Data integrity checks scan through the company database and identify potential data corruption issues. You can perform a data integrity for a specific module or modules, or for all active modules in the company database. You also have the ability to have the data integrity check fix minor errors where possible, and can define specific application options for checking data integrity. When you have made your selections, you can click on the check button to start the data integrity check. Data integrity should be checked on a frequent and regular basis as part of a healthy database maintenance program. However, data integrity can take a lengthy time depending on the size of database and volume of transaction history. At the end of the data integrity check, an error log is sent to the default print destination, and an error log file, errors.log, is written to the program file path for Sage ACPAC. As mentioned with import files, restart records are records that are formed when there is a stoppage in a process that Sage ACPAC is performing. Restart records can be viewed in the Restart Maintenance window. Restart records can be formed whenever a Sage ACPAC process encounters a problem, such as importing records when an invalid code comes up. Rather than cancel the entire process, Sage ACPAC creates a bookmark to document where the process stopped, and lets you know that a restart record has been created. If you exit Sage ACPAC with that restart record not cleared, you are prompted with a message every time you log on that indicates you should check the Restart Maintenance window. This window provides some detailed information regarding restart records that are outstanding. The window indicates the module, user, date and time, and details of the restart record. This allows you to retrace your steps and go back to the point where the error occurred. In the example of an import error, you would correct the error in the source file and then go back to importing the records. When you restart the process, the system lets you choose to start from the beginning or use the restart record to pick up from where the error occurred. When a restart record is used or cleared, it is removed from the system. You should not manually clear a restart record until you resolve the error that generated it. The database dump and load functions allow you to extract data from the databases to load into other databases. The database dump function strips data away from the database tables, leaving a compressed backup of the database. The database load function takes the compressed backup files and defragments and restores it to a database with new tables. These functions allow you to resolve any issues with damaged database tables, and allows you to move data from one database format to another. For example, you may have a pervasive SQL database that you need in Microsoft SQL format. can simply do the dump process to remove the pervasive SQL tables, and use the load process to load the data into Microsoft SQL tables. Dumping a dataset has no impact on the data itself. It is still accessible in its original format. Loading a dataset will clear any information that exists in the database the data is being loaded into. To dump data, select the database from the drop-down menu. Note that you can dump both system and company databases. To find the directory to which the dumped file will be saved, you can also enter a description of the dump file. To load data, select the database that you're loading into. You cannot load data into the database that is currently open in Sage ACPAC. Point to the appropriate dataset directory and select the dump dataset to load. Database dump and load, as well as a database copy utility, can also be found on the start list in the Sage ACPAC program group under Tools. Only the admin user has access to these tools outside of Sage ACPAC.
Please proceed to Common Services.